I know for me personally, I hear a lot about what's going on with Trump, but then I also hear a lot of conservatives saying like, that's not true, or that's just a lie, or they're lying, or actually he said this. So it's hard for me to know what's actually correct and what's not when I'm just going based on speculation, obviously. So if you're like me, up until recently when I really started digging into this, I was kind of just hearing what was going on. I wasn't giving a strong opinion because I wasn't sure. But now that I looked into it, I figured it might be good to give you guys, a little bit of a breakdown of what's going on as well, so you can better understand. So the first thing to know, the breaking news element of this, is that Donald Trump is going to be surrendering at the Fulton County Jail on Thursday night. Donald Trump is expected to surrender at the Fulton County Jail on Thursday evening on racketeering and conspiracy charges over his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in the state of Georgia, according to two people briefed on the matter. Wow. Wowzers. Trump is not going to jail, LOL? Well, it says he's going to surrender to law enforcement, so maybe he won't go to jail, but I mean, it sounds like he's going to be booked. Trump has posted on his Truth social platform that he would be arrested on Thursday, but the primetime scheduling was finalized. He's like scheduling it for ratings. The former president became a criminal defendant in a fourth case last week when a grand jury handed up a sprawling 41-count indictment that accused Trump and 18 co-defendants of engaging in a criminal enterprise and committing election fraud and trying to reverse his 2020 defeat. Oh no! Trump was so busy yelling and screeching and crying about election fraud, and he was the one committing it. What? Wow, wow, wow. That's good. That's some spicy shit. So let's go ahead and look into to like what actually is happening. What's he charged with? The strength of his charges and everything else. This is a really good article I found that actually gives you like a breakdown, helps you track it. He has indictments over 4 different cases now. He has 4 different indictments currently. The January 6th insurrection case, the Georgia election case, the classified documents case, and the hush money case. So there's a lot of current indictments going on. The January 6th case, as summarized, is in the 2 months between Election Day in 2020 and January 6th, 2021, Trump mounted a wide-ranging campaign to subvert Joe Biden's victory in the presidential election. Trump and his advisors spread false information about voter fraud, urged Republican state officials to undermine the results in states that Biden won, assembled false slates of electors, and pressured Mike Pence, the vice president, to unilaterally toss out the legitimate results. The effort culminated on January 6 when a mob of Trump supporters stormed the Capitol. So it's currently at the indictment level. The strengths of the case include Trump's efforts to subvert the election were extensive, well-documented, and largely in public view. He and his allies spread lies about voter fraud and stoked the protests that led to the January 6 attack. Many of the top aides in the Trump administration testified to the grand jury, giving investigators remarkable insight into what was happening privately in Trump's orbit during the critical 2-month period, and perhaps providing important evidence about Trump's state of mind. Pence, who resisted Trump's pressure to try to annul the election results on January 6th, was the most notable witness. Others included Trump's former chief of staff, his White House counsel, etc., etc. As far as the weaknesses of the case, Trump may argue that what he said about the 2020 election was just covered by the First Amendment, that's his rights, his constitutional rights. A president seeking to impede the peaceful transfer of power is unprecedented, and holding him accountable is unprecedented as well. So that's another quote unquote weakness in the case. It might be hard to actually get a conviction because of just how unprecedented something like this really is. All right, next is the Georgia election interference case. Trump's efforts to overturn his loss in the 2020 election were perhaps most aggressive in the state of Georgia. Multiple recounts confirmed that Joe Biden won. Trump and his allies spread lies about voter fraud, urged Georgia officials and state lawmakers to reverse Biden's win, and plotted to send fake electors to Washington. That's pretty bad, dude. On January 2nd, 2021, Trump called Georgia's Secretary of State and urged him to, quote, find 11,780 votes, the number needed to overcome Biden's victory. Damn. The Fulton County District Attorney charged Trump and 18 of his allies for these efforts, alleging a wide-ranging criminal enterprise. Oof. The strengths of the case, largely the same to the strengths of the other one. This happened out in the public view. and 8 Republican activists who falsely claimed to be the state's presidential electors for Trump have taken immunity deals and have agreed to cooperate with the investigation. So they have the people involved who were going to lie about being presidential electors. That's pretty bad, man. Weaknesses of the case. A local prosecutor charging a former president is again unprecedented. He might also claim he's immune from this because he was president when these actions took place. And he might argue that his statements about the Georgia results were protected by the First Amendment, or that he lacked criminal intent because he genuinely believed he won the election. I love that, how Trump is now stuck between arguing that I was either really, really dishonest and malicious, or I was just really, really, really stupid. I love it. He has to pick one, you know? It's like the meme where the guy's sweating, choosing the button. Which one? I'm really fucking stupid. I'm really fucking dishonest. Next, the classified documents case. Federal prosecutors have accused Trump of taking highly sensitive national security documents when he left the White House. He stashed those documents haphazardly and obstructed the government's repeated attempts to retrieve them, prosecutors allege. On at least 2 occasions, Trump showed classified documents to individuals who were not authorized to view them, say prosecutors. During one of those episodes, which was audio recorded, Trump allegedly displayed a top-secret military plan of attack while telling visitors, "As president, I could have declassified it, but now I can't," adding that the document he was showing them was, quote, "still a secret." Are you kidding me? Wait, please tell me that Trump was not using highly sensitive classified military documents as a flex. Please? Trump, you have a mansion, dude. You have a limo. Do you still have the chopper? Did you need to sell it off maybe? You have a lot. You got a lot, pal. Really? You still need more? It's not enough that he has billions of dollars. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. It's not enough. He's got his own plane. Whatever. He can do whatever he wants. No. To really impress the locals, you got to flex that highly classified military document, you know? Hey guys, so I know that I just gave you all a brand new Rolex, just in case you didn't already really like me. Check out what I got here. This is a secret. Yeah, that's how we're gonna go blow up fucking Afghanistan, dude. Flex. So cringe, so desperate. So the strengths of the case include most legal experts, including conservatives. They have described the indictment as laying out an exceptionally persuasive case. It contains evidence from Trump's own statements, including one caught on tape, that he knew he was not authorized to retain classified material but did so anyway. Oof. Trump also seems to publicly admitted that he knowingly held onto the documents after he left the White House. During a CNN town hall, Trump said, quote, he took the documents because he was, quote, allowed to. In fact, the Presidential Records Act makes clear the presidential documents are property of the federal government, not an outgoing president. Weakness. While he was president, Trump had broad authority to declassify documents. If Trump could show that he declassified the records at issue before he left the White House, he may be able to undermine the charges, but there's no evidence that Trump did that. The prosecution may have received an unlucky break when the case was assigned to a certain judge, a Trump appointee, who has a history of issuing rulings that are highly favorable to Trump. Okay, so it's going to be tough. Last but not least, the hush money case. Trump is accused of falsifying business records in connection with a payoff to Stormy Daniels, a porn star who claimed she had a sexual encounter with him. By buying Daniels' silence, the payoff avoided a possible sex scandal in the final weeks of the 2016 presidential campaign. Michael Cohen, Trump's personal attorney and fixer at the time, paid $130,000 to Daniels. Then, while in the White House, Trump reimbursed Cohen in a series of installment payments processed by Trump's company. Prosecutors say Trump fraudulently disguised those installments as corporate legal expenses in violation of New York law. Strengths of the case. Cohen, the man who arranged the hush money payments, has turned against Trump. He will likely testify. Prosecutors have evidence of other hush money payments that Trump arranged to cover up damaging stories of the run-up of the 2016 election. That suggests a coordinated effort to help his campaign rather than merely to avoid personal embarrassment. A key issue that could determine whether the Daniels payoff violated election law. Weakness of the case. Elevating the business records charges into felonies by linking them to an underlying federal election violation would be a novel legal theory that would test the interaction of state and federal laws. Okay, so there's a lot of hoops to go through. Trump's legal team may portray the Daniels payoff as a private matter and the charges themselves as a technical bookkeeping violation, too insubstantial to justify criminal charges against a former president. That actually sounds kind of convincing to me. I could see them going with that. So that is just a quick summary of the Trump charges. That's what's going on right now with Donald Trump. What do you guys think? It sounds like he's ready and willing to surrender. We also know that he's going to be ditching out on the debate tonight. Apparently he's too pussy to do the debate because he already is going to win, or he's better than everybody else, or, oh, that's right, there's so many points below him that he doesn't need to debate, according to him. Again, very, very pussy move, I know. Not very Chad or alpha. But regardless, this is Donald Trump right now. Shit does seem to be collapsing around him. So what do you guys think? I know that no matter what happens, conservatives will continue to side with Donald Trump. At this point, I think that Donald Trump probably could, mass Holocaust puppies, and the conservatives would still just, fully be on board with him. I don't think there's really anything he could do to lose broad conservative support. And since conservatives care so much more about that authority and that perception of power, that whether this guy has committed crimes or is innocent or guilty, that doesn't really matter, okay? He's powerful, he's tough, and so they just follow him like sheep to the slaughter. So Donald Trump is safe as far as his own base goes. But yet, it does seem that his legal troubles are mounting. You guys think that Donald Trump is going to get out of this one like he's dodged so many others? Or do you think that this might be the time that Donald Trump actually goes down? Let me know in the comments below or in the chat.